So I want to welcome everybody to Tuesday Morning Basics. Thank you. Sorry for that little interlude there. I promise not to yell at anybody but Nancy in class today. Because she's special. I'm teasing. I just am excited to have Nancy back to, John, just wait till you're back in studio. Nancy can't wait for John to come back, just so. Anyway. No. All right. In today's class, one of the things that I would like you to think about, I really like this. As I mentioned on Saturday, I'm kind of working my way up your body. So it doesn't matter if you were here Saturday or not, right? But if you were, hopefully it will make some sense to you what we were doing. We worked on grounding and hips opening in Saturday's class, Friday and Saturday actually. And then today we're kind of moving up the body. We're going to work on twists and a little bit light core work. It's not like going to a carry class, don't worry. All right. So, but light core work with our twists. And I wanted to share with you that, yoga really is that blending. And I like to think of it as twisting. And there are a lot of different allusions in yoga to the idea of twisting. But I loved this quote: "Your body exists in the past." So think about that. Someone was talking the other day in a meeting, and she said, I wish I could go back 20 years and tell my 20-year younger self, don't smoke, get good sleep, eat well, because you can see it now no matter what I do on my face, what I did 20 years ago, right? And our body exists in the past, the things that we've done over and over that worked for us, which is why we repeated them, and now maybe aren't working quite so much. Our mind exists in the future. We're always looking ahead to what might be an issue, trying to keep us safe, plan, right? Do all those things. In yoga, we try to bring both those things together on our mat. So we work with the body that exists in the past, a mind that wants to exist in the future, and we ask them both, just catch up to each other, just relax, right? Breathe and bring your yoga to your mat. And then we try to take that steadiness off of our mat and into our world. So as you're practicing your mat, think about that. If you notice like your knee, if I invite you into a child's pose and you notice your knee, or if you're going into a down dog and you feel your shoulder, think about what you might have been repeatedly doing in that area of your body and how you might adjust for that now. And if you need suggestions, raise your hand, hit your space bar and let me know that, right? And as we move through this practice, we'll be moving up and incorporating twists and, like I said, some light core work into our class. So come to your easy seated position if you're not there already. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, press down through the sitting bones. Inhale, lift up, give the spine lots of length. At that chamber event I was at last night, I ran into Dr. Serena Kleinstub, who did our anatomy workshop. And we were talking about the spine and awareness. Twists are really good for a healthy spine and for a not so healthy spine that's not in distress. So if you're having sciatic issues or flares right now, please let me know that by raising your hand so I can help you modify. Otherwise, we'll enjoy some easy twists to help strengthen the muscles around the spine and give us some freedom. Make certain that your chin is parallel to the floor and gently pulled back so that your ears are in line over your shoulders. And then you might find your favorite mudra that helps you arrive on your mat here. And just bring your awareness to your breath. We'll take 3 to 5 nice deep breaths here. And this is a great time if you practice with intention on your mat. I introduce to you physically and hopefully metaphysically what I want you to think about on your mat. But you might have a completely different intention, and that's perfectly fine. So if you practice with one, now is a great time to choose that. If not, simply sink into your mat and bring awareness to the breath. I'm going to switch our music here in studio so it's not yelling in our ear. With your next breath, bring your hands to your heart center, eyes softly closed. Gently bow your head, whether honoring an intention that you set or simply beginning to enter into your yoga. On your next inhale, gently lift the forehead up. Let the eyes remain softly closed for a moment. And then flutter the eyes open softly and slowly. Bring your hands back down to your thighs. And with your head up and in a neutral position, look over your right shoulder. Take a moment to notice how that feels. If your neck is doing okay. And then come back through center and look over the left shoulder. Sometimes we notice imbalances when we take a nice gentle move first. Come back in through the center and let the chin slowly drop down towards the chest, keeping it controlled. Inhale, lift the head back up to neutral. And if it feels okay, gently draw the nose towards the sky. Don't just throw your head back. Open up the front of your throat. With your next inhale, use the neck muscles to lift the head up. And one more time, look over to the right shoulder. Come back through the center. Look over to the left shoulder. Take the arms out to the side, flip the palms skyward, and as though you're lifting a heavy weight, draw the arms up, feel the shoulders slide on the back. Let the gaze rise up. Exhale, twist to your right. Your hands can go down wherever they might fall. And then as you roll the right shoulder back behind you, lift up through the heart and begin to engage the core, the belly, and then twist more deeply. If it helps you to isolate the core, you can always lift the fingers up as you practice this move a few more times, rooting the left hip down, lifting, exhaling, and twisting. On your next inhale, bring the arms up, come back through the center, and exhale the hands down to the heart. Take the arms back out to the side. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, twist left, find the full twist, and then let the arms float down wherever is comfortable. Roll that left shoulder back. And then inhale up for length, exhale and twist. Again, to make certain that we're using the core, maybe your hands float. And you notice if that wants to unwind your twist or not. Couple of breaths here, lifting through the spine, remembering healthy twists, the spine is elongated. Inhale, stretch those arms up. Exhale, come back through the center. All right, so I'd like you to bring your hands down to your mat and then take your left hand and bring it on your lower left side of your hip. So kind of back as though I was going to slide it, not quite into my jeans pocket, right? Kind of right above the SI joint where a lot of us go, oh, my back hurts, right? Okay, so feel those muscles right in there. We're not going to worry about the names of those muscles. Take your right arm in front of you. Lift the right arm up. Stretch through that. Now we're going to take that easy twist to the right, but I want you to think about your back and where this twist is coming from. Plant down through the left hip and then start like right above your hand to initiate that twist and work it up your spine, slowly twisting to the right. Can you feel the muscles in the back working? So remember, the core goes all the way around the body. Come back through the center, and we'll try that on the other side, trying to isolate that area. So you'll hear like really confusing verbiage about where a twist begins. What I want you to realize is we stabilize through the pelvis, and then that allows us, like we talked about root to rise last week, right? I'm looking at Nancy. Nancy's like, I wasn't here. I don't know what you're talking about. Bring your right hand to your back, to your hip. Lift up your left arm. So really plant down through that right hip now, and just above where your right palm is, start to initiate the twist to the left. Try to imagine those muscles starting to pull you. These muscles are working too, which is why your core is working, but we want the entire spine to be revolving. Take a couple of breaths here, trying to pull that left shoulder behind you. And then come back through the center. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Roll the shoulders out a little bit. And when you're ready, take the arms out nice and wide. Give yourself a gentle hug. Nothing big. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, as you hold onto your arms, I want you to take your spine over to the right. So your right shoulder is going to dip You're using your core to keep that left hip pressing down so we don't just fall over. Inhale, lifting up. And as you exhale, go off to the left. Try to plant that right hip. And then inhale and lift back up to center. Take the arms out nice and wide, opposite arm on top. Give yourself a hug. We'll do that one more time. Plant that left hip. Reach over to your right. Try to keep the shoulders in line, hips in line. That's the other thing about a healthy twist. We don't want to be nodding the spine up, right? Inhale, lift up. So some of you are saying, this isn't a twist. Exhale, go left. It's not, but the spine moves in lots of directions, and we want to make certain that they're all good to go before we start twisting it. Inhale, lift up. Take those arms out nice and wide. Roll the shoulders a little bit, and then drop the arms down. If you're on a prop, go ahead, take that prop away. And I always like to take a moment of awareness. Did that prop help my hips feel better? And make certain that you have a strap and come all the way down onto your back. You can take your arms out to a T. We'll start with an easy supine twist. You can have your palms up or down. I like them down to help me keep my shoulders grounded. Bring both knees in tight towards your chest and flex your feet. Take a moment here to wiggle those toes. We have to wake up the feet for our balance, right? Get the creaky crakies out of the ankles. And then flex the feet, draw the knees in nice and tight. Pull the belly in towards the mat. And then exhale as you squeeze the knees, drop the knees off to the right. You can let the knees go as far as is comfortable, keeping the left shoulder down on the mat. For some of you, that means that your knees will recline over on the right side. For others, it means they'll hover and we'll have to pull in with the core. On your next breath, draw your knees back up to the center of your mat. Notice if your knees came away from the core. Draw those knees in nice and tight again, engaging through, even the hip flexors are pulling here. And then exhale and take the knees off to the left. Keep pressing that right shoulder down and notice if this side doesn't want to open up as much as the other, or if you have more freedom here. Couple of breaths. This is one of my absolute favorite songs. Those of you guys that are in studio, Breathe In, Breathe Out, Move On by Jimmy Buffett. Inhale, lift the knees up. Draw your hands around your shins and pull the shins in nice and tight. Release them slightly. Let's do some hip circles while we're here. Hold one knee in each hand, and then you can go any way you like. Just make some nice big hip circles. We're off our legs, and so this makes it a lot easier to open up the hip joints here. No weight involved, except the weight of the legs. Reverse your circles, please. It just feels a little odd. And then bring the knees back in nice and tight. Squeeze that right shin in and stretch that left leg out. Hover it over the floor briefly, and then slowly take it all the way down to the floor. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And then reach over, find your strap, and draw your strap around the arch of your right foot. I'm going to use a variation of Supta Padangusthasana that Susan did in Sunday's class, and I thought it felt so good. And sorry, Susan, juicy. I know some people don't like that. Hold the strap in both hands and weight the right hip down as you stretch up through the right leg. Now, if you have a tendency to hyperextend, so if your knee goes past your ankle, then I want you to keep a slight bend in that knee. Holding the strap like horse's reins, gently pull the toes closer to the face or the head, keeping the leg as straight as you can. Relax the leg slightly back out. Take the straps in the right hand. Left arm again reaches out long in that T. Ground the left hip down and take the right leg out. Move slowly. And when you feel that hip starting to roll up, don't pretend it's not rolling. Instead, bring the foot back up to neutral. Plant the left hip again and slowly start to move out. Muscularly controlling. Now, for some, it helps to engage the core and pull your left hand to your left hip. If you have a weighted sandbag, that's great too. I can. Would you like me to hand them out? Take a few breaths here. And then use the inner right thigh to pull the right leg up. So your strap just kind of comes along for the ride. Grasp the straps like horse's reins again. Gently draw the toes towards the head or the nose. And then let the leg come back a little more to a neutral as you switch the straps over to the left hand, the right arm comes out. Take the right foot cross-body just 4 or 5 inches, not very far at all. Draw the right hip back and press through the right heel. Are you feeling the outer right hip say good morning to you? Hopefully the answer is yes. Nancy's IT band is already screaming. So you might stay right here, right? And just play with this move. We are focusing on twists and not the IT band or the TFL. So if you'd like to take the leg a little farther down towards the floor, just go about another third of the way and stop. If this is too intense on anyone's IT band, go for the full twist. And at this point, many of you who didn't know what the IT band are going, oh, so that's my IT band. And then finally, go ahead and draw that right leg all the way down. You could even take it all the way to the floor. I don't normally give you that freedom here. I want you to keep the muscular energy, but we're going for the deep twist. So you might find it by letting the right leg seek the left side floor, or you might keep the leg hovering and push out through the right foot while you pull back through the right hip, which will engage the core more here. Your choice. Now concentrate on the outer edge of your right. Try to use those muscles, not your left arm, to pull the leg back up. Once again, hold the strap like horse's reins and gently pull the toes further back behind your face. Bring the right leg back to a more neutral position and draw your left foot up in the straps. As you press through the feet, think Dandasana here when we use the straps. Relax the shoulders, keep the arms straight. Breathe, pull the belly button down towards the spine. We're kind of in a supine Dandasana here. And hopefully you notice your right leg should feel slightly different than your left. Go ahead and draw the right knee out, bending that leg. Straps go in the left hand for just a moment. And the right arm can go out as we stretch the right leg long down on the mat. If you'd like, you can hover there for a moment and engage your core, and then stretch the right leg down and engage the mat. Bring the right hand back up, separate the straps like horse's reins, and gently pull the left toes past the head. I notice when I do this, oh my gosh, my left leg is so much tighter than my right. Let the foot come back to a little bit more neutral position as the right arm floats back out again. And as we did on the other side, open that left leg out to the left side now. And interestingly, I can take that left leg out much more easily here than on the right side. So those kinds of awareness can help you as you're moving through poses to understand what might be tight in your body. The back, the body's so complicated, things get referred, pain gets referred. Would you like me to get it? Seriously? Okay. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here while I fetch a sandbag. And then as you're ready, pull that leg back up to neutral. It's coming. You can wait. You can wait. Does that help? Yes. And then draw, holding the strap like horse's reins, draw the leg past the toes, past the nose again. Just nice, gentle, slow movements here as we get into the back of the leg. Release the leg back to a more neutral position. Switch the strap over to the right hand. Am I going the right way, guys? Okay. Left arm out long. Take that left leg cross body, remembering just a few inches. Pull that left hip back and down and stretch through the left heel, and you should really begin to activate the outside of the leg. As always, if this feels like, ooh, this is where I need to be today, stay right here. If you'd like to go a little deeper into the twist, the left foot continues to descend towards the right side floor, just about 2/3 of the way down, and then stop. Again, think about pulling the left hip back and in as you stretch through the left heel. So we kind of neutralize the twist to wake up the leg. And if you'd like to stay here, feel free. If you'd like to feel that full twist, go ahead and take the left leg all the way cross body, either stretching through the heel or letting the leg release towards the floor, finding a very deep twist. Use the external muscles on the outside of the leg. That's why they're external. And pull that left leg up towards the center. Bend, let's draw the toes one more time. Back past the nose. And then let the leg come to neutral. We're going to draw the right foot back up in there in our supine dandasana pose. Stretch through both heels. Press down through the shoulders. Pull the belly up and in. So that means it's going to come towards the mat and then up towards your heart. And bend the knees. Take the strap off, please. One more time. We'll go for that nice big supine twist. So arms out to the right. Draw the knees in nice and tight. Flex your feet. See if you can keep the knees pulled in as you rotate over to the right. This time, please hover. So our knees, our ankles are squeezing. We're pulling the core in and we're hovering the legs off to the right. Inhale, draw the knees back to the center. And then squeezing the legs together. Exhale, take them off to the left and hover. Your belly's going to want to arch and you're going to turn it into a back bend. Instead, pull the belly towards the spine to support the spine in the twist. And then inhale and draw the knees back up. You can cross the shins and pull the knees in nice and tight. Begin to rock stem to stern. Get a nice little back rub. And then finally come all the way up, over, and rotate through, finding your tabletop position. In your tabletop, take a nice big inhale. Let the sacrum rise towards the floor. The belly drops. The heart pulls through. Gaze lifts. Exhale. Curl the spine. Find your cat pose. Keep going, flowing with your own breath here. Remembering, trying to keep the arms straight, inner edges of the arms, smiling at each other. Noticing any areas of tightness as you move up and down your spine. Any areas where the sensation kind of disappears and you're not aware of that area of your vertebrae. And the next time you find yourself in a neutral position, just stretch out through the spine. Press down through the mat, down through the knees. Lift your right leg up behind you and stretch your left arm out. Hold this for a breath. Now we're going to take the left arm over towards the right and the right toes over to the left side floor. We're crossing the midline of the body here. See if you can slide back to neutral and then make a fist and crunch, knee to elbow. Keep going, inhaling for length, exhaling for the crunch. Thinking cat-cow spine. Am I using the front and back core? And the next time that you are stretched out long, you can take a breath there. Drop the left hand down to the mat and sweep the right toes over to the left side of your mat. Look over your left shoulder and find this nice side body stretch. Come back through neutral with the leg lifted at hip height, then drop it down, extended, press back and find a calf stretch. Inhale, shift your weight back and come back to a neutral table. Then take the toes together, the knees wide. Drop the hips, exhale, press down and find a child's pose. Take one breath here in a passive child's pose, whatever you would like, and then begin to refine this by pressing the hips down on the exhale, stretching a little bit longer through the fingers, finding that long side body. Next, inhale, press up onto the fingertips, hollowing out the armpits. We're going to add a little tiny twist here by dipping our left shoulder down and trying to look up underneath our right shoulder. Come back through neutral and we'll add that tiny little twist here. Dip the right shoulder down and try to look up underneath. It's actually the armpit, but I know how much Susan loves that word. And then come back. I'm just hitting them all. Juicy armpit. Press the palms into the mat. Inhale and rise back up through the center. Find your tabletop position. And when you're ready, extend that left leg out long. Right arm reaches out. Notice if the belly droops. Pull the belly up off the mat. Press the left shoulder up and away. We're going to draw the arms and the leg across body again, so the right arm reaches over, the left leg reaches over towards the right side. You can take the toes down for stability or keep them up. And then inhale, come back through the center, make a fist, exhale, and curl in. Keep going with your breath. And the next time that you're stretched out, simply hold that. Then drop the right hand down to the mat. Take the left toes over to the right side. Look over your right shoulder. Feel that nice side body length on the left side. As you hold this, can you pull the right hip back? And then look further over the right shoulder. Lift that left leg up, keep it stretched out, drop the toes down behind you. Exhale, press into your calf stretch. Inhale, shifting your weight forward. Bring your knees into neutral. Take your feet off to the right. Drop your hips down to the left and swing your feet around in front of you. Bring the feet in to a Baddha Konasana pose. So cobbler's pose, toes and heels coming together. As you hold either the feet or the shins, the ankles, inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, use the elbows to find a little bit of a passive stretch towards the floor. Now, if this feels good for you and you would like to go a little deeper into a forward fold, that's fine. If not, stay right here and enjoy it. So if you'd like to go a little deeper, I always like to kind of grab my feet and take the elbows to the outside of my shins to help me remember to keep the back long so I don't curl. I'm not trying to check out my pelvis, right? I'm trying to keep my spine long. So we want to isolate this down, low back, hip area, outside TFL. Now walk your hands back up and lift up. This is, you have to kind of think about this. This is a rub your head, pat your tummy kind of a thing. So I want you to take your hands to the top of your knees. And this is for low back health. So as you press into the knees, so pushing the knees towards the mat, I want you to resist into the hands with the knees. Squeeze the feet together. You're not going to feel like it's doing a whole heck of a lot until we're done. Release your hands, bring your hands underneath your knees and do the opposite of that. Press down with the knees and then resist back with the hands. Do you feel this deep in your groin? Is there an urge to roll back? Try to keep forward. Do that a few more times with your own breath, just exploring that. This is actually a chiropractic stretch.
feel it more this way than doing it this way.
Yeah. Which, just highlights what's going on in your body for you. Okay. So doing that a few more times. And then bring the hands back to the shins again. And once more, lift up, pull the elbows down, pressing the knees towards the mat. Nice flat back.
Okay.
Huh?
If I get my here, I can't be straight up.
So I would recommend getting the arms set and then wherever your hands grab. So, you want your hands to come somewhere on the leg and then wherever you can grab. If you can do it that way, that's cool. What we're trying to do is just move you to a passive stretch.
But it's easier for me to just stretch like this than try to put my arms on it.
That's interesting. So for Nancy, it's easier for her to get her knees down when she goes to an active stretch. That's good. All right, bring the hands underneath the knees and draw the feet close together. Stretch the legs out and shake them a little bit. Now, hopefully you feel that your hips a little more awake. All right, swing the feet around behind you. Bring your hands underneath you. Take from a neutral tabletop position, we're going to thread our needle here for a twist. So plant your left hand, float your right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, dive that right arm down. Drop the right cheek or head down on the mat. Get the shoulder comfortable and centered underneath you. Rotate the palm skyward. Come to either the palm or the left fingertips. Stretch your left leg out behind you. Take a breath. You're welcome to stay right here, remembering that we're really focusing on the twist today. So this is shoulder opener and twist. Or if you just like in threading the needle to be able to play with balance too, go ahead and lift that left leg up. You can explore the twist aspect by lifting the left arm up and opening the shoulder, taking the left hand back behind you. And begin to unwind your pose, keeping your left leg long. Just drop the toes down to the mat this time. Nice luxurious stretch. Right arm reaches up. And then drop the right hand back down to the mat. Draw your table in nice and neutral again. And we'll switch sides. So keeping the knees engaged with the mat, lift that left arm up. You'll find you won't have as much freedom. Take that left arm down underneath, threading the needle. Pull the shoulder in so it's under the midline of the body. Come to the right palm or the right fingertips. Stretch the right leg out. Press down through the left hand. Breathe. If you took that leg lift on the other side, feel free to do it here. It's optional. We're not really focusing on that, on balance today. And again, if you took that leg lift, you might raise the arm up or you might bring the arm back behind you. When you're ready, keeping the leg stretched out long, drop the right toes back down to the mat, press the right hand into the mat, float the left arm up, and enjoy a nice, much more open twist. Hands come back down to the mat. Right knee comes in. Take your hands slightly forward or your knees slightly back, whichever works better. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and find your first down dog. Go ahead and walk your dog out a little bit here. Nice and slow. I always like to think of a cat in the sunshine kneading their paws. Or we used to have a cat that would sit in the sun in the window and she'd purr and do her paws back and forth. I always thought, wow, that's happiness, right? When you're ready, still your down dog movements. Take 2 breaths, just finding that stillness, that cessation of movement. When you're ready, bend your knees, look forward and take little tiny steps, hips lifted high, nice and light, all the way up to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway up when you arrive. Exhale and fold. Inhale again, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and float down. One more time, we'll do that. Inhaling halfway, exhaling and folding. Plant those feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, twist to the right. Keep pulling that left hip back and the right hip forward. Roll that right shoulder back behind you and stretch the fingers long. Doesn't matter. We have two sides. So flip the palms and reach the arms up, coming back through the center. When you do that, notice, oh, my hips moved. I thought I was pulling them back. Float into the exhale on the left side, pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. You might think about elongating through the left fingers to draw the shoulder back. Pull the right hip back. Flip the palms, reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, hands on shins, nice flat back. So think of like a wall bracket, you know, like a shelf bracket, as though your legs in your back were that bracket. Plant your left hand on your shin and draw your right hand up to your hip. Pull that right hip down, keeping the left hip where it is, twist up to the right. So don't let anything take a smaller twist so you don't have to bend knees. Now pop that left knee, letting the hip drop, and take a nice open twist, letting the right arm reach up. Bring the legs back to neutral and forward fold. Inhale, halfway up again, setting up those brackets on your shelf. Notice we're going to take a smaller twist here to keep the hips even. So bring the left hand up to the left hip. You'll feel it start to rise if you're moving your hips. Look up to the left. This is always where we kind of want to go fudgesicle, but I want the big twist. So bend the right knee, let the shoulders dip, and take that big twist here. Sometimes the big twist isn't really as good for us as the little twist. And then come back through neutral and forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reach the eyes and the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart center. So I'd like you to grab a block. And at the risk of Elizabeth and I having a discussion about knees in Utkatasana,
That's what I thought.
She knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's it's a valid discussion, right? If you have hip problems, if you have back problems, drop the block and ignore me, what we're going to work on. I just want you to find a prayer twist, all right, in your chair. I'll talk you there. But if you have a fairly healthy back and you're just trying to strengthen it, then squeezing the block between the knees, and you can put it, I actually like to have it the skinny way, so I feel like I can get into a chair pose. Then bring your feet in slightly closer. Think about drawing your heels towards each other. You should have just felt your thighs engage. Now squeeze the block. Lift the arms and drop down, finding a chair pose. Did you lose any tension in the legs? Bring that tension back into the legs, lift the heart. Bring the left hand down to your left hip or thigh. Rotate, twist, twist, twist to the left and draw that right arm over the left thigh. Keep squeezing those blocks, planting the feet. Bring the left hand on top of the right. Now keep the knees in line with each other if your back is healthy. If your back is not healthy, then go ahead and let the knees come apart. Otherwise, we are working to draw those knees together. Lift and rotate the shoulders so you find a twist in your prayer. Stay in your crouch and come back through the center. Lift the arms up. So we're working your quads. All right, Nancy says, no, no, no. Inhale, lift up. You know, okay? All right, next breath. Exhale. Find your chair. If it's bothering you, take the block out. Right hand comes down. Just get the squeeze on. All right. Right hand comes to the hip or the thigh. Rotate. I'm really using the pressure to help me find that twist. And then drop that left arm to the outside. So if I'm finding back or leg pain, I'm going to let the legs come apart. Otherwise, I'm going to squeeze. Stack the hands. Draw the right shoulder back. Left shoulder forward. Deeper twist. Come back through the center. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, take that block out. Shake the legs. Sometimes the little extra awareness that block brings in can add a lot to the pose. So I'm really hoping, I really want to stress, if you have back, SI issues, you know, if your knees are bugging you, usually it's because you're too far forward, right? In our squat, in our chair, we want the booty back, weight more in the heels. But if it's your back, then, or if you feel a shooting pain, then it could be your SI joint. And we want to let the hips roll then. We want to protect that, right? Okay, come back to the top of your mat. Shake it all out. Let's do a couple of sun A's to finish warming up. So feet hip distance apart. Find all four corners of the feet. Shins in, thighs apart, hips back. Belly pulls up and in. Sacrum seeks the floor. Draw the shoulders apart from each other. Inhale, lift the eyes and the arms. Exhale, hinge over the hips, forward folding. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Plant the hands and step to your variation of plank. Remembering knees down is perfect. Exhale, find chaturanga, and then pass through to your belly. Stretch your arms out for a fingertip cobra. And we'll look to the right. Come back through center. Look to the left. Come back through center. Come all the way down. Hands slide in. Tuck the toes. Press through your table for this first one. Press the hips back and then lift up, down dog. Couple of breaths. Allergy season is killing me, guys. Sorry. When you're ready, look forward, bending your knees, and take bigger steps, but light, hips lifted, high. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale in, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. We're going to head straight back down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Plant the hands and find your plank. Exhale, find chaturanga. Come all the way to the belly. And once again, take the arms out, fingertip, but don't lift for your cobra here. I want to show you, we're going to inhale, lift up. We're going to add a twist. So we're going to dip the left shoulder, pull the right shoulder back, and look to the right. You can feel free to take it if that feels okay. Remembering you can always just go back to standard fingertip cobra. Coming back through the center, lifting up. Dip the right shoulder, lift the left. We're getting into those pecs. Inhale, come back. Exhale, press down, draw the hands in next to the rib cage, tuck the toes. Either do your table or reverse your plank. Lift the hips and find down dog. Look forward, checking your foundation. Lift your hips, press your heels towards the floor. Breathe. Okay, we're going to plant that left leg, float the right foot up, bend the right knee, flex the foot, and find three-legged dog with a twist. Now, as you do this, really weight the right shoulder so that the left shoulder pops forward. It'll want to go down. Next breath, bring the hips back square to the mat, stretch the right leg out. Bend the right knee and swing the foot forward, trying to touch your right knee, right elbow. Inhale, stretch out long. We're going to add a twist, bring the right knee into the left elbow. Stretch out long. Bring the right knee into the center and hover. And then swing the foot through and find a lunge. Drop your hips towards the floor, lift your heart. Yeah, feel free, grab your blocks if you need them here. Step into your right foot, float your left foot forward for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. Exhale, float right back down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, find your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Come all the way down. Slide those arms back out to fingertip cobra. Now you can either just lift up and take that variation, or take the twist again. Dip the left shoulder, look to the right. Come back through the center. Strong fingers. Dip the right shoulder, look to the left. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release down. Hands slide back by the rib cage. You choose, coming through your table or reversing your plank. Lift your hips and take 2 breaths. Plant your right foot, and on your inhale, stretch your left leg up. Find that 3-legged dog with a twist, bending the left knee, flexing the foot back behind you. Weight the left shoulder to pull the right shoulder forward. Draw the hips square to your mat again. Stretch your left leg out long. Bend the knee then and bring the left knee to left elbow. Inhale, stretch the leg out long. We're going to find the twist, left knee, right elbow. Stretch the leg out long. Exhale, curl into the center of the body. Come up onto the right tiptoes. Hover that left knee up as high as you can, cat back. And then swing the foot forward in between your hands. Runner's lunge. Drop the hips towards the floor, lift the heart. Remember, this is where if you want more space, you just grab those blocks and give the heart freedom. Notice it's not that you can't do it. It's what do I want? Step in the left foot, float the right foot up, finding a forward fold. Let the head completely drop. Arms ragdoll, and we can sway side to side. Now you might like a block here, so we'll test it out. Release the hands down to the mat. If you're comfortable here, you don't need your block. Otherwise, grab a block and we'll bring it in. We're going to walk our fingertips or our block off to the right side of our right foot. And again, if your back and your hips are happy, keep the knees with a little micro bend and the hips in line. It's a twist. If they are not happy, pop your left knee. Walk the hands back to neutral and straighten both legs. And when you're ready, we'll walk off to the left side of our left foot. Gauging, noticing, how do we feel? Do I want to pop my right knee? And then come back through the center. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, lift all the way up towards the sky and stretch the arms up long. Exhale the hands down to the heart center. Go ahead and grab a drink of water. Evidently I left mine out there. All right, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Are you cold?
No, my
Tendinitis?
whatever.
All right, come back to the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart center, please. Press the palms into each other and roll the elbows out. Shift your weight to your left foot and draw your right foot up. Then swing that foot back behind you. We're just going to step back, finding a wide stance. So lift the left toes up and come to the center of your mat. Now again, if you prefer to use a block when we forward fold, you're always welcome to grab that on the way down, right? Bring your hands to your hips. Press the sacrum towards the floor, and I want you to think about your feet. So roll your weight to the inside of your feet and let the outside of the legs come up. And then I know some of you, I just blew your head and you're like, what? What is she doing? Now switch the weight and roll to the outside, trying to bring the left, the big toes up. We don't want either of those. Press evenly through all 4 corners of your feet. See if you can get the inner and the outer edges to grip your mat. Squeeze the legs towards one another, pull the belly up and in. Exhale, forward fold, parallel to the floor. And at this point, check your stance. Some of us like to widen as we get here. Others realize, ooh, I got a little aggressive. And when you feel comfortable through the legs, let the upper body simply fold and find perhaps the floor, perhaps a block. Let the upper body just dangle towards the floor. And then slide your hands in so they're underneath your shoulders. Notice your elbows most likely want to splay out. Pull the elbows so that they are in line with the wrists. Think chaturanga arms. And then see, as you press into the mat with the hands, can you use the feet and the hands to give you the resistance to let the head drop lower? One more breath.
Inhale, press into the mat, lift up, arch to spine. Bring your hands out either in front of you or on a block, your choice. Take a nice big down dog stretch through the upper body. Inhale up enough that you can walk your hands or your block in right underneath your nose. It's entirely up to you, all right? Draw your right hand in on either the floor or the block, so it's right underneath your nose. Left hand comes to the left hip. Now, as we twist here, I want you to go only so far that you can keep your hips even. So lift the left elbow and start to twist up towards the left side. Maybe that left arm feels free enough to float up. I was just telling somebody yesterday, Jim used to like to lay a ruler along our back and try to get us to keep our ruler there. We can also use a block here. Bring the left arm down to the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Press into the mat, rise halfway up, arch to spine once again. Remembering we want the spine long and straight when we twist. Left hand comes underneath. The left comes underneath, so it's underneath the nose, not your left nose. Bring your right hand up to your right hip. Keep the hips right there as you look up to the right, twisting. And again, maybe that right arm feels free, but notice if I lift my right arm and my left hip dips, I want to pull the left hip up and the right hip down. Hold that for a few more breaths. You guys' backs in studio look great. I can't see too well, many of you on screen. When you're ready, bring that right hand down. Again, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, squeeze the legs towards one another, bring the hands to the hips, bend the knees slightly and rise up. You can wibble wobble the feet towards each other or hop, whatever works for you, and shake it all out. Roll the feet, the ankles. You'll notice if you were rolling one way or the other, the outside or the inside of your ankles will be barking at you right now. So take that into account next time. Come back to the front of your mat. We're going to go through one flow and then come down. So inhale, stretch the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, step back, finding your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Maybe we hover and then come all the way through to whatever back bend serves you today. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, find your down dog. All right, plant that left foot, lift the right leg up in the air, bend that right knee, swinging it in towards the chest, curling the spine. Now listen carefully, take the right foot and thread it through to the left side body, hover. You're welcome to stay right here or to drop the right foot. Shift your weight to your right hand and float up into a variation of a Vashisthasana. Drop the left hand down. Bring the right knee back into the core, swing the right leg up behind you, and then pull the right knee foot down by the left foot. Take a breath. All right, I ruined the surprise. So plant the right foot, lift that left leg up, then bring the knee into the chest, cat spine, swing the left foot through and try to hover. Then maybe drop the left foot and shift the weight to the left arm and find that modified Vashisthasana. Right hand comes back down to the mat, left knee draws into the core, sweeps the leg back behind you, and then the left foot comes down by the right. Take the knees out wide, toes together. Exhale, drop the hips. Find your child's pose. Couple of breaths. Work out those wrists. If the sneak attack Vashisthasana messed anything up. Press the hands into the mat. Inhale, rise up. Draw your knees in. Bring your bottom down onto your mat and slide your legs out in front of you.
We never did it like that.
Nancy just said we never did that Vashisthasana that way before. All right, pull the flesh away from the sit bones. Inhale, lift up. We're going to draw the right foot up into the left thigh. Take a breath here.
Bring your hands down so they frame widely your left leg and twist slightly towards your left foot. Now, if you prefer to use your strap for Janyu, feel free to take the strap around the arch of the foot. Inhale, lift the arms up, nice long spine. Hinge at the hips, press that right knee down towards the mat and reach out. You can hover, you can bring the hands down to the foot. You might just have the hands on either side of your leg. You might go, oh, holy cow, I didn't know this is where she was headed, and grab your strap. Wherever you are, please lift your gaze up to your toes. Then imagine that there's a string attached between your heart and your toes, and shorten that string, drawing your back flat. Couple of breaths. Now we're doing twists, so if you'd like to stay here, stay here. If you'd like to add a little twist, bring your left hand to the inside of your left leg. Flip the palms so that your thumb is over the arch of your foot and your pinkies towards the sky. Your right hand is going to come to your right leg. Plant your left hip and just look up to the right. Nice little twist. Don't bring the right hand up over the head. Come back through the center. Walk the hands back. Lift that right knee up and plant the right foot up and over the left leg. We're just going to draw the right knee in close to the heart here. Now, if you'd like to add a twist, use the left hand to hold the right knee in close. Take the right hand behind you. When I don't pull my leg back, am I going the right way? Yeah. Lift the left arm up. When I don't pull the other leg back, it screws me up. Reach to the right and draw the left elbow down. Unwind this twist. Take the right leg out long and shake those legs out a little bit. All right, we're headed to that Janyu Shirsasana. So if you use the strap, grab it again. Pull the left leg up and draw the left foot up as high into the thigh as is comfortable for you. All right, if like me, you have cranky knees, remember that dealing with the external rotation at the hip can help you. Press out through the right foot, hands come out wide, assist the twist a little bit towards the right thigh, and then lift the arms up, exhale, and reach out long. Exhale again and fold further close to the leg. Left knee, thigh, and hip press down, which should help release the upper body. So rather than thinking of cranking yourself towards your knee, think of using your low body to help you. Again, you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to add that little twist, you can take the left hand out long to keep you low. The right arm comes to the inside of the right foot. Bring the thumb over the top of the foot and flip the right pinky up towards the sky. So for a lot of us, that's enough of a twist, right? We're like, yeah. Bring the left hand to the left knee and gently try to stack the shoulders towards each other. Come back through the center, walk the hands up the leg, lifting you up. Bring that left knee towards the sky and draw the left foot up and over the right. You can stay right here, planting that left foot and pulling the heart in, or you can sweep the right arm around, left arm reaches behind. Find your stability there as you plant the left fingers and then reach the right arm up, twist left and draw the right elbow down. Make certain that right foot stays active and flexed. It doesn't just go to sleep there. Unwind your twist. I am running a few minutes late, so if you need to quickly pack up, go ahead. If you're ready to join us for Shavasana, go ahead and come all the way down onto your mat. We'll take one last twist here before we go all the way into Shavasana. As you lay down on your mat, let your eyes close. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Hold the right knee in and stretch the left leg out long. Take the right arm out long as the left hand comes up over the right knee, and then use the left hand to draw the right knee over to the left side. You're welcome to stay here or to switch the left hand so it holds the right thigh, and then see if you can pull back through the core and extend through the right leg. Bend the right leg back in and come back through the center body. Swing the left knee in close to the right. Switch knees out so the right leg extends. Right hand holds the left knee in, left arm stretches out long. And we exhale, take that left leg crossbody to the right side. You're welcome to stay here or to pull the core back and in and then extend the left leg out long. You have to pull back with the core and the hip or you'll rock over to the right. Bend that left knee, bring everything back into the midline of the body. One last squeeze here, and then gently, as you breathe, find your favorite Shavasana pose. I always love seeing the variety of poses. We have legs up the wall, waterfall, traditional Shavasana. You see tented knees and a Baddha Konasana. Way to honor your own bodies, guys. Twisting on our mat generally means we need some courage to take our body away from the midline and balance and try something different. Off of our mat, E.E. Cummings said, it takes courage to show up and become who you really are. Using the courage that maybe you played with today on your mat, can you use that today whenever you are tempted to stay close to the true, the easy, the expected, and instead twist, show up, be who you really are. Wherever you are, we're in a myriad of positions. Draw your knees in towards your chest slowly and gently. Take one last squeeze, maybe rocking side to side, and then gently roll to your right side, cradling your head in your arm. Taking a breath or two here. And then mindfully, use your upper hand and your upper leg to help you rise up and find an easy seated position, hands at your heart center, eyes softly closed. I want to thank you all so much for sharing in this practice with us today, for playing on your mat, and hopefully taking the philosophy off your mat and into your day-to-day. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you. It was a good class.
Good. It felt okay?
Yeah,
Good.
Encouraged.
What'd you say?
Twisty turvy.
Twisty turvy. All right.